This is Visions of Caution, Poetry Sessions, Volume 1. My name is Leigh-vii, and I thank you for being here today. I hide away what others cannot fix in me, what I cannot fix myself. What I cannot fix is mine to keep, and I keep it from myself. Oh, damn it. I'm consumed by the humor of the goblin and kin rabbit. Head bigoted, I'm laughing with a hypocrite. I love you. How do these words hit you? If you're anything like me, they read universal, and I'm free to use them however frequently I like or please. To me, all love is to care, and I care, I care, I care. It's backed by the feeling of intuition where you feel the chemical eruption phase connection, and mine is not isolated to one or to few, but to every soul I cross paths with until given good reason not to. To some, these words are fragile. They comb through all the love or lack thereof that their lives have been met by, and some despise the very thought of having it skim the touch of their sides. I love you. Why must you compare me to another being who spoke these words before me? It's not possible to ever have the same love twice. Each living creature has its own magic to offer, but you won't negotiate. Where is the slack cut from fact that I could not anticipate? The day you met me, or the fact that I may have shown up in your life too late? You've already carved the shape of love into your vocabulary before you met me. Everything we could have been has seen its demise by your need to protect yourself from this very thing. Pretending you don't care is easy. You've forgotten how to sculpt. The shape of your happiness is wilting. Though for you, I still care. I care, I care, I care. I didn't ask to bleed, nobody does, yet it pours out of me by the gallons. Eyeball to the womb's wall, the moon and I share magnetic, maternal, manic mojo monthly cycles. It is not a bed of roses, my head only thorns. Like a bed of nails, you get used to it. I choose if it leaves me torn. The place all thoughts go when forgotten is a world all on its own, with inventions and poets in abundance we can't touch. We must leave to be left. In control, we are not. The abyss, the void, it's filled with noise, it's quiet, our brain dust. In attempt to try avoid us, the thoughts that we lost leave us silent with our minds rust. Do not follow me into the forest, my safe space be my own beast's nest. Do not follow me into the woodlands, I'm spellbound and here I unleash best. You're so calm, you're never angry, yet your life has had days so ugly. Tell me, how do you go about your life so purely? There's a secret, surely. Response. Sure, well, I coincide with what I'm left alive with. I align my voices at the bottom of my rib cage and let them play amongst the breaths where silence follows right behind them. I've never felt familiar, close, consumed, nor near my anger, but yet I know in full power it'll devour, it exists. What is left of it defaults to a stillness, quiet as I in the space of it. I believe if I let my anger out, I could harm all trace of merry-go-rounded innocence. The place at the bottom of my ribs is only so big, and the voices here are tired of the view and the endless rearrangements. Nothing's new now. Perhaps I'm near eruption. The way I view my dad is that he taught me how to swim. But I taught myself how to breathe underwater. You can't escape the flood or the way it's designed to submerge. You'd think he'd be proud that I took the initiative. But if it doesn't look good on paper, it doesn't matter that I'm proud of myself or my ethics, strength, or stamina. Don't commit to me, commit to evolving. And I'll constantly meet you in the middle there, soothsayer centre standing. Pardon my insanity in a world proclaimed be sane. I am falling back on what I know without fear of your disdain. I find great importance in truly remembering the feeling of the very first ever something that made you feel the need to learn more. For some, it's why is the sky blue? For me, it was why is my mother crying? Only by default did I find myself human. I am not a creature poised, avoid me. I am not easy for the faint-hearted to love. Your repulsion, disgust, drags my name, marinates in the mud. Look over me, I'll be second-guessed. You can't handle my existence. I am often an idea that leaves a newcomer with more questions than originally stood with. A baffler, a morbid lunatic. I am not a human to be watered down, diluted. I like to listen to static. It makes my thoughts bleed. I'm all about it. You wish I was kidding. I can't take the pain from the pleasure anymore, because the pain engraved it knows me more. For I am dressed in soot and rot, and hurt it dare does not. Once your preconceived notion of death faces the reality, you do not push past the grief. You do not get better. You endure. You do not come out the other side. You adjust to how you're altered. We mix character with shades. We paint pictures out of people. We sculpt them through perception, and we live within the outcome. I miss her. And when I say I miss her, I mean the thought of her smile gives me nausea. The memory of her laughter scrapes gorges into my earlobes and pulsates an ache in through my bones. Raspy throat. I hear my rib cage home the ringing of my stomach's groan. My body, reacting physically to the pain her death gave me to hold, and I miss her. I simply miss her. And it's not simple missing her. Not at all. Take from me all you need, for I am too much for me to handle. A temperamental mantle, a task I'm not nonchalant nor capable. No patience that I gave myself was gentle, so please take it all. There is no sleep in the garden tonight. Beige-colored moths seek the light of the merging morning. Raised you are, upright in the midnight, and I'm sitting upright beside you. Cross-pollinate, lace with the garbage you waste, the energy it takes to make the effort in presenting yourself sufficient. You are not alone within the love you hoard to rid. Which has me in a pristine capture? The photographer, the painter, the poet, or the mirror? Tell the young girl in my head that she's beautiful, but her wings have spread so far they've pierced past my temples, and I'm not sure it's worth the ache I've endured from these horn-type additions to my skull you've had me believing to be the wings of an angel. Painting the roses red, a shade of fine garnet, there are petals crimson in the garden. Scarlet shades cascade to greet you, where burgundy and blood-colored specks meet your eye to find contentment. I've painted the roses red in every which way because you never once specified a preferred required shade. I know you don't understand why I sleep in the gutter, while you dance along the rooftops in harmless harvests of star-kissed weather. The sun sets on your body while mine here cradles the shade. We were made for different states, crusades never woven together. Broke my own ribs while sharpening my teeth, bruised my own flesh in the process of aimless trajectory. My nails have grown twice as fast as my progress with understanding irony, its jeopardy, raw and heavy, that abides by me. Are your pockets weighed down by the body tape you carry around, the packet of chalk you hold on to? You wait for any and all excuses to play the victim. Lay down, why don't you? Draw yourself an outline. Your dignity is dying while your life remains just fine. Colored right, not out of line, but you are very, so very out of line to cry a wolf so readily. No victim holds serenity in their hands where trauma bleeds so heavily, and you lie about it all so easily. When you lay down and howl the coward's melody of needing your own backbone replaced with others' caring hearts so desperately, the remedy of those in need is feeding filtered through the atrocity of you. I am naked, though draped in my emotions. I allow the world a seat to see the smile which fought through wars. This is me, wearing my vulnerability. These eyes bestow a story. This is how I wear my scars with bravery. Beautiful momentarily, but anarchy in absolute. Miraculous and worthy, naked head to foot. My mother fed me doses of reality, one spoonful at a time. I didn't like the things that I was finding. Few words hold more power than last chance. You replaced my name with words only vague, and that took its toll on my inconsolable young brain. I am not needed when my mother is in company, and I am not needed even more when she's alone. To the trees who have held bodies, I am sorry that us humans choose to end our lives on you, that you could not fight with all your bodies sturdy to help the soul so bruised who chose to hold their breath forevermore on you. What a beautiful day I just wasted indoors, not a cloud in the sky because they're all inside my head. Energy I sent to comprehend everything at once individually has drained me. If you look closely here at my forehead, you can almost see the chaos spread behind it. You ignite embers, spread spores to the very being in me sorrowed and erode. Yet the one who wants to enjoy and take back my life wants more, and wear away where disdain is stored. I hate you for how I love you for it so. It's thoroughly exhausting and feels unnatural to love myself when I'm convinced it's impractical. Thank you for turning me grateful. Wholesome only once to the touch, do you trust where your memories rust up? Did you find your childhood self in the detail of all things set to fail? And so the animal crawled into her ribcage and tore at her internal works of art. The broken ribs rang the sound of how the wind would dance, as the tide communicates the vast vision vicious that the moon pulls and pushes. Like the waves to the shore, you run back to what has drowned you before, thinking that this time the feral animal will support you. Before you stab me in the back and punch me in the face, make sure to kiss your polished knuckle and your candid choice and blade. I've seen forgiveness in an ankle-biting devil, holding a gun to its own temple. It grew from your wounds, you allowed it to leave dwindled. With you it no longer wants to dance. Masked to play the role of people-pleaser, depth is not needed when a smile speaks significance and sits on the surface like it's earned this rightful leisure. She morphs into everything anybody could ever ask of her, a model of pure exterior. Deep down there is no depth down in the dear darling, and that poor girl believes that she's cathartic. How exhausting. Only he could see reflections woven within his own evil, of a man who grips his child too hard, of the way the female scorpion slaughters her lover. There's scratching at the door, there's holes in the walls, where their nails, their claws found invitation. Break away the paint to show the face of the wood and its age. The anger engraves a haze, intoxicates, and carves a language to allure. The language on the walls has made its way down through the floorboards, only speaks to the ancestors before you, claiming distorted ore. You've been warned. She applies her painted eyes through reflections of knives. An embrace of losing the mind of mine, and my eyes doing strange things. You'd trade in each tomorrow for a taste of what you had in yesterday. The hum in your brain where the name of them once was and wants to be is burning you too violent. You'd give anything to get the time back, but we're propelled forward. There's no manual to getting over it, child. Death will take us all. Origami. I folded all the corners into shape to give you body. Created with my hands a way for you to stand up on your own. I gave you every crease controlled that you've ever known. But you see, I'm also water. You as paper, I'll destroy all form of fiber. To control what I cannot, I should have known better. You didn't stand a chance, and to stand again you'll never. I locked eyes with the person that I am. Here I found neglect, stacked, hoarded wreckage of everything I've never acknowledged. I am witness to this hostage. I locked eyes with the it of the me that I am, grief-laden, chaos-bearing maiden. Eyes of mine entwined to eyes with no life left behind them. Well, I'll be damned. I locked eyes with the person that I am, and me I can not stand. Cupid was not my friend when we met. He was saving his last broken breath next to a bow he had bent for the rag doll of me that is flimsy and stupid. The insanity was keeping me numb, calm, collected when you turned my own gun on me and I let you get away with it. Just like the arrows in our hearts, we both know our guns are tampered with, and this bullet with your name on it you dedicated to Cupid. Does the day anticipate the night? Is it frightened by its arrival? Does it trust it will resurface once its bitter bite is down still? When I was a child, alone was what I wanted. Without asking, I always got it. She's very handmade. Adolescence confiscated, stolen. She was young and she was forced to be a woman. I can't manage to put myself into meaning. When I breathe inwards, the maggots feel the breeze, and upon exhale, baby flies lose grip on natural flight and surrender to the whirlwind they've been dragged in. My body is the burial grounds for myself and feeds all things in need of a body dead. The parasites, the ants, I'm in over my head. And I'm anxious, so anxious, that the butterflies of mine are maggots. The miseries in me grew gills. I couldn't drown them if I wanted to. They know how to swim, wrapped my ankles tight in chains, cover my face in cellophane. I'm a joke to them. The silence speaks of all things that have hurt you. I can't take the pain away, nor do I want to. I see the way the moments frayed and grained have came and shaped you. You are deserving still. You kill it for the feathers, cut it down to fuel the flaming pit, capture it to gawk at in a cage through eyes you take for granted. You stole it for your art, crystals, clear quartz made of glass. Dare not spare a thought sincere enough to value repercussions. How can one love everything so certainly, yet search without hesitation to find death in the crevice of anything? The multitude of years bare, weakened, starved, and lonely walking. They go by, and it's been such a long time that I've been without the someone who once kept me going. Ash-spit cigarettes caress the moonlit gutter, biting concrete, laying unwanted like me. It's hurting. Ruins tied around my eyes feels fluent, numb to stars and chaos, the very roots of my makeup. There is a place with an old copper door where the antics of Mannix's carnival. Unravel me, strip me from my skin, break my ribs to pieces, give me to the earth where rebirth is the only communication basking. Do not let the fear of silence in, you are not welcome. My plans for beautiful things, I leave no room for them to breathe. The verbal debt I owe myself, the lies I tied in scrambled knots and tripped up on, the times I spoke too soon and spilled on visions of things not yet in bloom nor born. My spelling mistakes and these spells take to shape, anticipate the magic only backfired and growing wrong from me being a fool all along, as to tamper with something so sacred as a secret. I gushed about the beauty before I built the foundation. The vision now held too much expectation. I never allowed for it to speak for itself, but I am learning. When I surrendered to the chaos of my life, I never tried to seek the control in absolutely anything. I couldn't see to the greatest of extremes where I was ever deserving of any known comfort. I'd happily rot away in a pile of garbage with no real thought about it if the people closest to me allowed this be. And for a moment there they did. I'm still caring to the scabs I carry where bugs had their lunch in me and newspapers wove propaganda stories to my skin. My nails are all different variants of broken in attempt to mock my current state of being. The desk at the back of the classroom belonged to Mary Beau Drin. She etched in transcripts of pain-fueled ache in art and carved instead of on my skin. There is weight not mine on the bed. This amicable figure clings the surface of the edge, and it's undone all harm abrasions on my forearm, mending the eroding of the wounds that I've been known to neglect. Watching me sleep, I calculate your dreams. More scared of you I am than you're of me, it told me. Your mind is home to so much upset. I'm a product of your head and I can't fall asleep yet. My imaginary friend. You like art, and by art you mean pleasure. I like art, and by art I mean decay. Unlike the womb, the heart will not stretch to make room for you. Itself will not bleed. How it grows when broken is a treacherous, sour assortment, and I am exhausted from its morphing. The earth is on fire. Don't you believe me? They charged a fee to watch the flames dance. I paid for front row seats like a fool. Ancient reborn children of sage, jasmine, and jade, an elixir made from secrets of the scent all age dust gave. Once upon a Victorian book of shadows left to the spiders to breed their babies on. The potent mist of sacred magic in the hands of a new generation. End of Volume 1. Ka kite.